All right, what is going on, Nowhere crew? So today I got something a little bit different for you guys. My buddy Alex, that I've known online for quite a long time, he's a music producer, and he just recently rented out one of the cubes in the Cube building in Toronto. Now, if you don't know what this building is, it's a very cool piece of architecture that was built in 1996. Basically, it was a low-cost living solution that it never took off, and these are supposed to be demolished or moved if somebody's willing to move them in the next year. So he's renting out this space to make it into a studio, I believe. He invited me down to come and check it out. So that's where we're heading right now. But unfortunately, we are stuck on the DVP, as always. If you don't know the Don Valley, it's always traffic. We call it the Don Valley parking lot. He's gonna show us around inside, which is pretty cool. We're gonna get to actually check out the inside of a cube. And yeah, so I hope you guys enjoy this one. It's a bit different from what we normally do, but I still think you guys are gonna really enjoy this. So let's go. All right, boys and girls, so we've made it to the infamous and iconic Cube House. So everybody's opinion on this place is gonna be different. Some people are gonna absolutely love it, think it's a very, very cool building. Some people are gonna think it's a huge eyesore. This building consists of 3 different cubes, so 3 different apartments. Originally, it was supposed to be for affordable housing. It was built in 1996 as an alternative for affordable housing. Unfortunately, it never caught on, or this was a prototype to see if it was a good idea or not. Obviously, it did not succeed. So these cubes were inspired by the cube homes in Rotterdam. They have like 100 of them in a row, and it was very successful for them. There's still people living in them now, but unfortunately for the ones here in Toronto, they're the only ones in North America, I believe. They've had many different redevelopment plans for here because this is a fairly decent lot. They wanted to put a new high-rise. They've wanted to do a bunch of different things. The owner, the developer, keeps changing. As my buddy Alex said, a new person bought it out like 5 days ago. So it keeps changing hands and its fate is pretty uncertain. It does appear though that in probably a year and a half, they do want to knock it down. I think they're finally going to get rid of this place. The cubes are actually, at least the last developer that owned it, they were offering the cubes for free if you moved it. So if somebody has the money, I'm sure that they can move this and put it somewhere else and they won't have to really pay for it, but most likely they're gonna just be knocking down these cubes. It's a shame because they're very, very unique. You're never gonna see anything like this again, probably in Ontario. And currently in the climate that we're in with the unaffordable housing market that we have, something like this would be super ideal for people. You'd be able to buy something like this and actually maybe be able to live and afford housing. So we're gonna go walk around. Alex is gonna show us inside because he's gonna be changing this into a studio. It's gonna be very cool, but I'll show you the house aspects of it when we're inside, but then he's gonna give us a tour and what exactly he's gonna be doing. So let's go look outside of here first, and then we'll get in there and we'll show you around. So let's go, guys. All right, so starting outside, you can see that this place, it's way bigger than I have ever imagined. If you're a local or a native Toronto, you probably have seen this going over the bridge coming into Toronto. It's very hard to miss. It's very iconic. Over the years, it's been just left to rot and decay. I mean, it's graffitied. Inside the building is actually quite bad too in certain spots. Right here, this is my buddy Alex.
Hello.
He's the one that's renting out one of the cubes. He's got cube number 2, I believe you said?
Cube 2, turning into a music studio.
They were buying out plots of land, or the idea was to buy plots of land like this that are, you know, kind of odd. They're a weird shape and not a lot can go there. Cube houses like this, you could put them in rows and it would make it very easy to fill out an odd space like this to make an interesting affordable housing area. So this one specifically, it's basically just sits on a big square concrete pillar essentially. And we got 3 giant cubes. So we got one here, one over there, and then if we walk around, we have another one right around the bend here. So there is a guy that actually lives in one of them. He's been here for like 20 plus years. Funny enough, the CBC radio guy, his truck's there. The problem with the cube design here is, and why it's decaying, is in the middle there's a flat roof and that's causing water to leak in. You can't build flat roof buildings in Canada. It doesn't work with the snow. Obviously, like everything in Toronto, it's been tagged up over the years, but I believe this cube right here on this side, this is Alex's cube. So that's the one we're gonna be exploring. So that's pretty much the outside of the cube. I mean, you can see by the drone footage, it's actually quite big. They're very large units and they're fairly easy to construct. So it makes them interesting but obviously there's some challenges living in a cube like this because it's on a 45-degree angle. All of your walls are going to be on a weird 45, so mounting stuff, furniture, stuff like that, you do sometimes have some negative space. You can overcome that with custom furniture, obviously, but not everybody's going to be doing that. So it's cold. I'm going to switch to my other camera so you guys can see good, and then we're going to go in there and show you everything that's going to be happening. So we're going to head inside the cube now. So I've been told that it's pretty rough inside, and there's quite a lot of stairs too. Like, oh, there's so many buttons for, you know, nothing.
Oh, they work.
Do they?
Yeah, there's a phone in the cube. You can buzzer it. Apparently, there's a button that unlocks the door too.
That's cool.
So
that's super sick. All right. Oh yeah, she's dark. Toss the light on. All right, guys.
see, it's a little rough on the way up.
It does straight up look like an abandoned building, actually. Like when you see it, like this is the state of inside. Like they've put like a bin lid in the ceiling to stop it from leaking. And apparently when it's raining, these walls are still getting wet. Like they haven't resolved the issue of the leaking. So, I mean, it makes sense because they're not planning to keep it. But it's kind of interesting. So what's this? This
is the balcony. This is cube 1. This is the one that the guy lives in. And then over here, this is cube 2, as you can see. This is my cube. This is the one that I have. And then I think cube 3 is over there, and the electrical panels and stuff in that room for cube 2.
I'm gonna head outside onto the balcony. It's sketchy because it literally says on the window here, max 4 people. So I'm assuming that I'm gonna die, basically. Yeah, this is so soft. This equates to me like this is like an abandoned building that you're just allowed to live in still and rent out. So obviously we got, it's actually not a bad view at all of the city from here. It'd be a nice place to just like chill and hang out. See right over there, that leads you into downtown. And I love the cube because they have all these skylights on each corner. So you actually get some really nice light coming into your cube. But yeah, I mean, it's a sketchy ass balcony, for sure, for sure. All right, so this is cube number 2. Oh, thank you, sir. So each cube has 2 levels to them. So this is the first level. This isn't Alex's part of the cube, but you can see that they're also doing some, I guess it's a music studio here as well.
Yeah. So I know all the guys that work out of here. They're all music people like me. We aren't using this space for our music studio, but in a second you'll see our space that we're going to be using. But yeah, as you can tell, the whole cube is kind of like music aesthetic, right? Like no one's living here in this cube specifically, but yeah, that's what the vibe is.
It's a very cool vibe. I mean, I'm obviously not, you know, a professional in music and stuff, but it's just cool to see like all the guitars sitting on the slanted walls. You got the cool light coming in. There's some drumsticks. There's some, I do not know what that is.
I don't know either.
Like that weird guitar looking thing.
Yeah. Drum kit and all that.
Drum kit. I guess this is where they would record vocals.
Yeah.
Right here.
Yeah.
Lots of guitars. Don't know what these are.
Some pedals for guitars.
Okay. Pedals for guitars.
Distortion and stuff like that.
Cool. I guess this is the phone you were talking about.
Yeah,
so
that's one of them. So I have another one in the upper half of this cube.
Should I solve their Rubik's Cube there and freak them out?
You know how to?
Yeah.
Really?
But, I mean, I don't want to encroach on their stuff too much. I don't know them, obviously. So I'm just going to show you guys it. But it's very cool. That looks like it's very old.
Yeah.
This keyboard.
Yeah, no, so this area that we're filming right now, like, they're still using this spot. They're in here every week, every weekend, you know. So it's not like it's abandoned or it's vacant or anything. Like, yeah, we're still in here. We're still working. We're gonna be working. You know, I'm gonna be building this studio up until they demolish this place, hopefully. So, which we don't know when it will get demolished. It could get demolished in 6 months. It could get demolished in 3 or a year, maybe. Like, we don't really know. So we're kind of just, you know, making the most out of it for its time, and like we'll go down in history hopefully and come down with the building when that time comes.
So you guys always wonder about buildings, like, why don't people renovate them? Why don't they do this? Alex here is trying to do that, and at the end of the day, it's still going to get knocked down. People try and do cool things with old buildings like this, but sometimes because they're so expensive and there's so much upkeep left on them, like all the leaking and all the decay and stuff that's starting in here, it becomes not worth it, or, you know, the property owner, like the developer, is just done with it and they want to move on. So it is really cool that they're actually going to be doing something with this. It's an iconic building. It's got heritage designation, but it's not heritage designation enough that they can stop it from getting knocked down.
Yeah.
So it's a shame, but we're going to continue up to the next level.
Little janky door. We're going to be replacing that with a nice metal one, so there's no sound bleed between this floor and the floor upstairs. Nice little stairway up.
You can see, just like any like a band in place, got some of the drywall falling off.
The wall's kind of wet here sometimes on a rainy day.
So you can tell, oh, it's falling apart as I tap it. You can tell, obviously, there's a lot of water damage in this cube because of its flat roof. I mean, you can mainly see it right here. Like, this is pretty, this is pretty gnarly. This is something we would see in an old farmhouse and stuff like that. So
we are having a contractor come in. We just got a quote a couple days ago, so we're having a contractor come in to hopefully try to paint this place up and fix all this stuff and make it look nice again. So yeah.
So this would be your upper floor of the cube. The idea obviously was, when you bought out a cube like this, you would get both floors, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Honestly though, the top floor is actually kind of more of a vibe because you get a better view of the city. So basically, if you picture this, this has been probably a living room area. You have a little kitchenette over there. You have a bathroom right here. And, you know, it's a fair size. They're not too small. It's easy to live here. It's not like you're cramped in this cube.
Yeah.
It's a pretty big kitchen. You become aware of the angles, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure. If you're over 6 feet tall, you're going to be kind of walking like this. Luckily for me, I'm only 5'7", so.
Yeah, so you got to picture, like, you know, if you wanted to put a couch or like furniture against, let's say, that wall, you either need to have a custom piece of furniture or just deal with the fact that you're going to have lost space.
Yeah.
So a big selling factor, I feel like, of these cubes would have been the view you would have had. So looking out these windows, I mean, obviously this side of the cube, we're seeing more of the, was this the Don Valley, or toward the Don Valley?
So this is...
Or am I looking the wrong way?
This is Adelaide Street.
Okay, Adelaide.
And Adelaide turns into like a ramp into the Don Valley.
Okay. So yeah, that's what I came down.
Yeah.
But you got these crazy triangles to look out the windows. Then you'd have to think, you know, if you rented out this cube, this is a big skylight. Skylights tend to leak.
Yeah.
So you have all these, you know, factors with a house like this. It might be more affordable, but potentially you're going to have some different issues. But you basically have cathedral ceilings. This building is extremely tall because obviously it's a cube on a 45, and that's what makes it interesting. And how long do you think it's been sitting empty, this cube?
Well, before me renting it as of December 2023, I think the last people were in here maybe like August or something. So a couple months it's been empty, but the people who are here in August were also doing it for music stuff, related stuff. Yeah.
Okay, so I mean, it hasn't been sitting like empty. I thought it was sitting empty longer. You can tell, I mean, there's no upkeep because everybody is uncertain if it's going to be demolished or not. So fixing little things like this water damage, or, you know, fixing up the stained carpet and stuff like that, it doesn't pose enough of a health threat or worry that you care. So most people are just going to leave it. One thing that is noticed by Alex is the heat simply does not work.
Yeah, unfortunately, as of right now, mean, when I first came to check out this place last month, so around this time last month, November, the heat was on and it was working, but now it's not. So I'm in my winter coat right now. My nose is still cold. My feet are still cold. The vents are blowing cold air. It's not warm at all. So I don't know. We gotta do a little bit of work to fix this place up. Hopefully it's not that big of a problem, or maybe we can just use like space heaters and stuff like that. But yeah, we're gonna be putting a new floor over top of this stained carpet. We're gonna be enclosing off the kitchen. We're gonna actually turn this kitchen into a recording booth, because as you might be able to tell with the audio, you can hear the road, you can hear all the cars passing by. So we want to be able to record like clean vocals. So we're gonna wall off this. There's gonna be a nice big wall here with the door going in here. New floors, and like I said in the beginning, we're gonna try to paint and make these, wet spots look a little bit more presentable. So it doesn't look like you're in an abandoned house. But yeah, I got some outdated stuff like that fan, for example, like it's connected from this light switch.
And then you have to pull the string.
Still works. It worked before.
Doesn't sound very good. It's like spooling up like a turbo.
Yeah, at one point I was here like last week, it just turned on all by itself and I was really scared.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is the phone, so like if you actually put your ear up to it, you can hear the traffic outside. And I'm assuming that the little button there is what you use.
Yeah, to let them in. Alex was saying, it's going to be primarily a music studio, but generally it's going to be a creative studio. So you may have some photography that happens in here, music, some other stuff. So the potential is going to be pretty much unlimited for creativity. I believe you said you're going to be renting out the space once it's finished.
Yeah, so we actually named this place 3 Cube Music. You can find us on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, all that stuff. And yeah, we're going to be renting it out for approximately $45 an hour just for the space. And if you are a music person and you want to actually create music, like you're an artist and you want to track your vocals and you want someone like me here, the engineer or the producer, we charge an extra $30 an hour. So, around $80 an hour if you want to come in here, create, make music, and just, vibe out. Like Noah said, we're going to have like we might have a photography set up over here, like a nice backdrop if you're an artist who wants to do music videos or stuff like that. Or simply if you just want to come here for the vibes and get some nice pictures, because it is a really cool historic building, the nice skylights and stuff like that. We got a lot of packages available. The concept basically is going to be like you go onto our website, you pick a date, time on the calendar, and you book it. It's that simple. You come here, we let you in. You can use the space by yourself, or you can meet me. And my name is A Walker. I know Noah was referring to me as Alex. I'm Alex, or A Walker Beats. You can find me on Instagram. That's my @ and I've been doing music for 5-6 years now, and I just wanted to expand, make a studio, because I feel like this is something I haven't done yet and just wanted to give it a go,
Alex is a very nice guy. Back when I was starting out on YouTube, he hit me up when I guess at that point you were probably a smaller creator at that point, but he hit me up and asked like, hey, can I make you a track for your YouTube videos so you can use it? Like, you can have it for free, you can do whatever you want with it. And who does that? Like, nobody just hits you up really and offers you something like that. So I had I think maybe 1,000 subscribers at the time, so I really appreciated that. That was like 5-6 years ago. And finally today we're meeting for the first time. So go show him some love over at his socials. If you guys are interested, let me know if you enjoyed this video, because we can come back and we can check out the studio once it's completed. He was saying around January, maybe early February, it's going to be finished. So we can come back and check that out if you guys are interested in seeing the full finished studio. So thank you, Alex, for letting us come and check this place out. I do appreciate it. And if you guys enjoyed this one, be sure to hit that like button, drop a comment down below, and let me know if you guys want me to come back here and show you the completed project. But with that, guys, I am out. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Thank you.